All right, I don't want to do this, but I mean, I have to. Because I have to know, uh, and I have to let all of you know how I feel right now that they're re-releasing the anthology albums, and they're the biggest part for me. They're re-releasing the documentary. I mean, Anthology 4 will be nice. I'll get to my thoughts about that later. And I'll get to my thoughts about the remastering of Free as a Bird that just came out. And the book, I'll get to that next. But I want to talk about the documentary. Because that is going to be amazing. Um, for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure there's a lot, but there's a few. There's a few people that know me that'll know what I'm talking about. Um, the the Beatles, they break up. John Lennon shot. And, before that, everyone's talking about, oh, Beatles reunion, no Beatles reunion happens because John Lennon shot. And it's pretty hard to have a Beatles reunion when John Lennon's dead. So they go till 1994, and Yoko calls George, and she says, "I've got some tapes." Well, she went up to Paul, and she told them all. She goes up to Paul, and she says, "I've got some tapes of John. It's John singing, and you guys should, finish it, put it together." So Paul's like, "All right," and George is like, and then she calls George. George is like, "All right," and then they tell Ringo about it. Ringo's like, "All right." So they go and they record "Free as a Bird," "Real Love," and parts of "Now and Then." And Yoko also gave them "Grow Old with Me," but that was already done on the, what do you call it? On Milk and Honey. They already released it, so it was. I can do a whole other thing about Milk and Honey. But it was all. It was already done, so they said, okay, don't do that. It's done. So they're like, okay, let's do this. And then George says, 2 songs is enough. This Now and Then, it doesn't sound all that great. It's, not quality wise of the song, not the song itself. It sounds, because the piano, it's over John. So he says, don't do this Now and Then. 2 songs is enough. We'll just do Free as a Bird and Real Love. So, but anyway, while they record Free as a Bird and Real Love, and that's all being recorded by a documentary crew. And they got all this footage, and they make a documentary, and it was released, and it's never been seen again since then. You could probably get the DVD. I don't know. I should know this, where you can get it. I should have the DVDs. But John, yeah, what was I gonna say? Not something about John. But I've seen parts of it, and as I'm sure some of you should have. And yeah, what was I saying? Anyway, what I was saying was, it's going to be re-released on Disney Plus November 26th. And it's going to have never before seen footage. And that's the best part. Now we'll get to the book. The book is probably the part that excites me the least. But I'll read it. And, I'll see all this stuff in the documentary. Why do I have to read about it? And then they did this, I'm seeing. That's the amazing thing. You see John, Paul, and George together, and it's just a vibe, man. And they're working on a John song. I'm a terrible public speaker, and didn't rehearse this. I keep looking off to the side. It makes it look, I feel it makes it look like I'm reading off of a script. And I got paper right here, which makes it feel like it even more. But this is obviously all off the top of my head. But I wanted to give you my honest reaction. a couple of hours after I found out. I recorded my honest reaction, which I deleted because it was terrible, about as bad as this. Um, but oh well, the albums, they're going to be they already released "Free as a Bird," which John's voice is so clear. It's so clearer than Paul's, actually, which is probably the biggest problem. John's voice might be too clear compared to Paul's, but it's so. So I said they should remix it for years. Just "Free as a Bird," I've been saying. Um, and we all guessed that they would do something like this, but I can't believe it. I wake up this morning, I see, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. My honest reaction was speechless. I thought, oh man, what am I gonna do? Am I about to scream? I don't scream. Like, I'm not one of those people. Like, like when those women, when a song comes on, happy F day, Um, but, uh, but I was like, oh my goodness, and then I just sat there, and then I recorded my reaction, and I didn't know what to say, and then I deleted that because it was terrible. Then I told my brother, who doesn't care, but I had to tell somebody. And my thoughts on Anthology 4. This is, to everyone else, this is probably the big one. And to me also, I mean, Anthology 4. I never thought that. I know there's probably some other people who thought it. I think I heard it be said once, and I said, Anthology. Why would they make a fourth anthology? And I thought, oh man, they're going to make an anthology for this is big. My theory, I heard somebody I knew who said, it's not going to contain Carnival of Light. If Paul's involved in this, it's gonna happen. It's gotta be something. Anthology 4, they say, oh, it's these never heard demo tapes. It's these never, but they would have done that with something else. Calling it Anthology 4. Here's what the anthology albums have. They got, if you've never heard them, they got interviews from people in the band. They've got interviews from George Martin. They've got the demos, and they've got, never before heard song. They got In Spite of All the Danger. They don't just have demos. It's like Anthology 3 stuff. Random demo. I don't care as much about that. I'd prefer to hear I'd prefer to hear songs that we haven't heard before, and the only song we've never heard before is Carnival of Light. And that's about it. I mean, if you don't know what Carnival of Light is, it's the only song we haven't heard. And I know they say it's nothing special. It's not song. It's more like Revolution 9 than anything. But it's just random noise. Listen, if the Beatles made it, I'm going to listen to it no matter how bad it is. If it's the new Beatles song. And how are you going to start? I know they're going to start how they're going to start Anthology 4. They're going to start it with Now and Then. But if first of all, they should put that on Anthology 3. And then open it with what's it called? With the Carnival of Light. Put Watching the Rainbows on there. Put stuff like that on there. But Anthology 4, if they put Carnival of Light on there, people will go crazy, and I think that's what Paul wants. And I think he might have talked Ringo in, because what does Ringo care if it's on there or not? Seriously, I mean, they say, oh, the other Beatles said no. The other Beatles said it shouldn't be released. I don't think that's true. I think this is Paul waiting for a grand reveal, because why would they say no? They have no reason to say no. What is it, a reason for me to hate Ringo? A reason for me to hate George? A reason for me to hate Yoko? Sean Lennon's gonna say, put it on. Ringo's gonna say, put it on. If Paul says, I think we should put it on, I think we need something big. It's going to happen. So that's my thoughts. In a way, come up to me, talk to me. I'll be able to articulate it better. And one more thing. I want to get this blowing up, this video, because it would be cool. So make that happen. Show it to your friends. Tell them to give it one of the thumbs up that you press. Under the video, there's a thumbs up button. There's a thumbs down, and there's a subscribe button right next to it. You can subscribe. I'd like that. No matter how much you hate the video. Come on, you know me. You're my buddy. Come on. Like it. Like the video. And how do I end it? I had this problem with voicemails. Whenever I leave a voicemail, I can never end it. Some of you guys know that if I've called you. And eventually I just say, okay, bye. And then, I can't even end it on bye. Okay, so if you're still watching this, take it off now. Because the rest of it's just going to be me trying to end it. Thank you so much for watching this video that I have made about it. The Anthology 2025 release. So a guy walks into a bar and he says, bartender, my brother's crazy. He thinks he's a chicken. And the bartender says, hey, now that's quite the deal. That guy's, he's crazy. Why haven't you called a psychiatrist yet? And the guy says, well, I've thought about it, but I can't do it. I need the eggs. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm going to get such hate for this if you're still... Johnny's still going to be watching. Johnny's going to be saying, Austin, what you doing? Oh, hey, Johnny. How's it going? If you are still... if you're still watching at this point, first of all, you're pathetic. Second, show it to me by doing... commenting a period, then an exclamation mark, then another period, because it's very specific, and it's over. Goodbye.